Okay, YouTubers, today's video is going to be on a debris shelter. Today's outing is a test, or this weekend's outing is a test. So I'm out in the Catskills, going to spend a weekend out here and one night in the debris shelter or hut, whatever you want to call it. So right now it's 22 degrees. Tonight it's going to drop down to 9. With the windshield, it should be probably around below zero. I guess it's safer to say. So it's below zero. Um, so this is the start of it. And because it's cold, I'm not going to do a continuous video of me building it. It just takes too long. So you're going to see it in parts and frames. But I am going to point out a couple things. This is about, if I laid on my side, this is probably about 3 inches off of my shoulders. This is longer than 6 feet. I'm 5'10". This should be anywhere between 6 to 7 feet. Now it's longer than that, as you can see, because this provides room for my feet. I have big feet, and the last time I built one with a 7-foot long main support, I had no room for my feet, and I was kicking the ribs out. Right? So I'm a little bigger. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pack the back to where my feet end, which is about here. It's right about here. And I'm going to pack the rest of it tight to keep the cold air out from the back. As you can see here, these are 2 additional supports. This is not going anywhere, right? 1 is fine, or 2 up front is fine. 2 midpoint, I think, is better. It adds for extra support. Now, this is my first time sleeping in a debris shelter in this weather, so I do have a backup tent in case it gets ugly. So we shall see how it turns out by the end of the night. By the next morning. But you will see the progressions of the debris shelter or hut throughout the video. Stay tuned. So today is the day 2 of the debris shelter. Right? So last night I slept in it, and I didn't do too good. Right? It lasted about 2-3 hours before I had to bail into my tent over here. So first 2 hours I was fine. I stayed warm. I had some sort of modified door in the way. It was more like you can see here at the bottom of the screen, were branches and leaves that blocked the doorway. So I was fine. And then the temperature dropped even more. So at the time I was laying in here for the first 2 hours, when I said I was fine, it was about 22 degrees. It dropped down to about 13 around 1, and then at 2 dropped down to 9. At 13 degrees, I was out of there. So that was about 2 hours later. So I would say about 10:30 I got in here. About 1:30 I bailed out. So that's actually it's 3 hours, right? So with the temperature dropping, it got ugly, and I left. Tried again tonight, though it's going to be a little warmer. It's probably going to be get down to 20 degrees, 18. So it's a little warmer. But I'm going to finish it out properly, and then tomorrow you'll see the video that we finished out and how I did my second night in the shelter. Alright guys, stay tuned. Alright guys, this is day 3. I spent the second night in the debris shelter. I added more debris to the top of the leaves. I got only an elbow deep of debris on. So from fingertip to elbow was about all I got, and that was an additional 3 hours of adding leaves on top of the debris shelter. I made sure there was zero light showing inside. Let me show you the inside of the shelter real quick. As you can see, you need to have zero light in here when building a shelter. Zero light means less draft or zero draft, right? So that's what the inside looks like. So now, seeing that the inside, no light, less draft, I got to sleep inside. I did a couple of added features, which was bringing a hot rock inside with me. I used a specific pine tree. I do not know the name, but I will find you the name. And oh, Scotch pine. Thank you. Scotch pine, which has very soft needles. I use that as the bedding in the mattress tick, which is in the shelter. I had a wool blanket on me, but as soon as I flipped on my side, it fell off, but I was still fine. My body heat heated the inside of the debris shelter. Granted, it was probably 10 degrees warmer than the night before, but I was able to do a good 4 hours inside the debris shelter. After the 4 hours, I had enough. I was uncomfortable. I got out and slept in a tent. The debris shelter is a survival shelter. It's not something you're going to thrive in. If you're out here thriving and you're going to stay a long period of time, you're going to build something a lot more comfortable, a lot bigger, right? And you're going to have a fire in front of you to keep you warm. Now, you can put a fire here, but it has to be a small fire. The leaves need to be wet, not dry, because you get a spark on it, there goes your debris shelter, right? So you could, if you want, or you could start a fire somewhere else, heat up a couple rocks, put some hot rocks in it, which would keep you warm through the night. I had a better doorway, which was made of branches and leaves, but it was better sealed than the night before. So that kept more heat in as well. So, that being said, this passed the test. The second night, unfortunately, passed the test, but you know now that you have to put in some work to build these things. It's not as easy as TV shows and movies make it sound. There's a lot of work to a debris shelter. So some quick tips. As you saw on the first day, I put a second support in the back. When you're gathering debris for your shelter, a 25-foot radius around the debris shelter, you do not touch. Don't touch the leaves and sticks that are in the immediate area. You're going to use that in case you need it for an emergency. An emergency would be at night. You feel a draft somewhere, you want to add more leaves, that's when you do it. You don't, at night, want to go too far and lose point of reference, if you will, where your debris shelter is. Other than that, you're going outside the 25-foot radius, and you're collecting the leaves and debris out there, and you're bringing it to the shelter during the day. Before you build a debris shelter, look for down trees, cutouts, and rocks. Here's a picture of a perfect shelter setup scenario that you would use by 2 down trees, right? In this picture, you see this is a nice little spot. But before you marry yourself to this this cutout, this hole, if you will, try to create a fire and smoke out whatever animals might be hiding in there. Right? So once you get the fire going, you're going to dump a bunch of leaves on it. You're going to smoke this out. You're going to get the creatures or whatever might be in there out. Right, guys? Make sure you put the back end of your shelter into the wind. Right? So you want the wind on your back when you're building a shelter, any shelter. And especially a debris shelter, you want to make sure the wind's on your back. So this is facing northeast, roughly. The wind on the first day was coming from the northeast, and that's the way I pointed it. That's why it's at an angle. Alright, guys? Other than that, it was a better night, sort of successful. So that was that. I did spray myself, even though it's winter time, I sprayed myself with tick spray. Homemade tick spray, just in case there were any lingering in the leaves. Alright, guys? So, I started a drone channel called The Angry Drones, or Angry Drones. If you don't mind giving that a like and subscribe, especially if you like it. A lot of my videos are going to be wilderness-based flying and some urban-based flying. So hopefully you enjoy those. Alright, guys? Thank you for watching. Okay, guys. As you can see, the main support here, that there, was pulled out, and the shelter is still holding itself up. All right. Guess I did a decent job building this shelter. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.